Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And really, I hate to say it, but I told you so. We were just talking about the new revelations, the new information about John Fetterman's physical and mental health issues. He was recently checked into a hospital where supposedly he thought he might have been having another stroke, and then 3 or 4 days later he was released. The doctors, of course, in the Fetterman campaign, like they always do, said, nothing to see here, folks, a clean bill of health, a total green light, John Fetterman is A-OK. And I said in that video that I'm just not buying it because they've done nothing but lie essentially since day one. I said specifically that I wouldn't be surprised if John Fetterman ends up in the hospital again relatively soon. We're gonna see him in the hospital again. It's gonna keep happening. His health is most likely gonna get worse rather than get better. And not even 3 days after I recorded that video, John Fetterman is back in the hospital. This time, apparently not for something wrong with him physically, but rather now a mental issue. He's checking himself in because he's experiencing chronic depression. And the media spin has already started. I mean, the absolute sheer level of frickin' copium dishonesty. Apparently, John Fetterman is a hero. He's unhero. He's so courageous and so incredible. What a guy for simply acknowledging the fact that he's suffering depression. That is the media spin. That's the narrative. Not the fact that somebody is clearly unfit, unwell for office and Democrats keep propping up and putting him out there. He's clearly not doing well physically, mentally, and he's deteriorating. No, of course not. That's the story. He's so courageous for tackling mental health. Oh, he's not like you toxic males out there who bury everything inside. No, he's courageous. No, he's not courageous. He's clearly unwell, he's clearly unfit, and we're going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep pointing out how these Democrats and the media are clearly acting extremely unethical here. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so here's the basic update, the context. Senator John Fetterman is set for a lengthy hospital stay. He could remain hospitalized for more than a month as the Pennsylvania Democrat undergoes treatment for depression, a senior aide said, following a series of health setbacks. On Wednesday, Mr. Fetterman checked himself into the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, the second hospitalization for the freshman senator in recent weeks. His office said that Mr. Fetterman has experienced depression off and on throughout his life, and that the senator voluntarily entered the hospital after consulting with the attending physician for Congress, Dr. Brian P. Monahan. And so that's the context. There you go. The current Democrat senator representing the state of Pennsylvania is possibly going to be out for a month. What I'm really questioning is whether he's been in at all. He doesn't seem to be consciously there. It doesn't seem like the state of Pennsylvania voters have representation in the Senate at all, sounding like a broken record, but the man is clearly unwell and unfit for office. And so how are Democrats responding here? Well, like I stated earlier, with absolute friggin' copium. Here's a piece from the New York Times. Fetterman's disclosure of depression signals a new openness on mental health. Oh, he's unhero. He's a trendsetter, a trailblazer. The talking points have gone out. John Fetterman is brave for checking into hospital for depression. President Biden on Twitter writes, except of course it's not President Biden on Twitter at all, it's President Biden's aides, John and Giselle. Jill and I are thinking about your family today. Millions of people struggle with depression every day, often in private. Getting the care you need is brave and important. We're grateful to you for leading by example. Yes. Apparently, John Fetterman is now a leader. Karine Jean-Pierre chimes in, pushing the same talking point.
Millions of Americans, as you all know, go untreated with depression every day. Senator Fetterman did the right thing and brave thing today or just this week by getting the help that he definitely needs.
USA Today writes, it's true. Telling your story is brave. Asking for help is brave. Very brave decision by Fetterman. One that will save lives, and a historic one in the ongoing quest to reduce the stigma of mental health. Mental health is the key to total health, a message we've been working to communicate, especially to the military and veteran community for decades. Democrats get their official talking point, they insert it into their frickin' memory chip, and all start parroting the same talking point. Oh, stunning and brave, stunning and brave. But there's something deeply twisted and manipulative going on here. All I see is a bunch of enablers. This isn't stunning and brave. This seems to be a man on a path of absolute self-destruction, enabled by a power-hungry political mob who just want to keep him as a placeholder. All he is to them is a number in the Senate. He's number 51. Can't let that go. And it seems almost as if the Democrats are willing to sacrifice him as long as it means they keep that precious number 51. I find it so despicable. I mean, politics aside, side. We're seeing a man before us fall apart, and the whole thing is covered in a shroud of lies, misrepresentation, manipulation, and enabling. At first they told us, don't worry, John Fetterman's fine, he can serve his full duties. Well, clearly he can't if he's constantly in and out of the hospital. Don't worry, he's fine. Don't you know that most stroke victims get most of their cognitive ability back? I mean, that was a talking point that they were pushing. That, of course, is complete nonsense. John Fetterman suffered severe brain damage from the stroke, to the extent that he can't hear people speak. He can't handle moments of stress. He clearly cannot speak himself as well. He is cognitively disabled, and it took nearly a year for the Fetterman campaign to release a statement, I believe it happened last week, where they stated that it's unlikely that he's to actually improve moving forward. After nearly a year of talking points of on his road to recovery, on a road to recovery. Clearly there's no recovery in sight. Clearly the exact opposite is happening. He's gone from a stroke that caused severe brain damage to now, possibly due to all the stress of his job, being the topic of national discussion, holding clearly such an important role in the Democrat establishment. I mean, he's number 51, going through a rigorous campaign, the most highly contested general election midterm campaign of 2022. After all of that stress continues to beat him down and clearly break him down, and now he's suffering severe clinical depression, and he's to be possibly held in a hospital for up to a month. I'm just gonna freaking say, you compassionate Democrats are literally killing the man. To continue enabling what we're seeing here is deeply, deeply unethical. John Fetterman cannot fulfill his duty to the voters who elected him. He is unfit and unwell. He cannot hold that Senate seat. And I'm not even saying that from a partisan perspective. Let's get a special election and hopefully a Republican wins and takes that seat. I honestly don't even think that would currently be possible considering current political trends. I mean, it's not exactly a Republican favored environment right now, at least probably not in the state of Pennsylvania. The 2022 midterms was a significant hit to Republican voter morale. It's not a partisan thing for me. I don't want John Fetterman to get replaced with a Republican. I just think it's unethical to continue enabling this man and his path of clear self-destruction. He should just be replaced in general. If he's replaced by a Democrat, so be it. Just as a human being, I am personally unwell. I have an issue. I have an ethical issue with seeing this man clearly suffer in the public eye. There's something deeply disturbing about it. And there's something even more disturbing with the Democrats who enable it. This whole stunning and brave nonsense. I mean, just how freaking partisan these people are. How opportunistic it all is. Oh, how stunning and brave. Oh, what a brave individual. I mean, what's it gonna take for Democrats to wake up? For John Fetterman to suffer another stress-induced stroke? I mean, one of the main factors in leading to a stroke is stress. You have an individual who's now suffering from clinical depression, who's clearly prone to heart attacks and strokes, and Democrats are pushing him out there in possibly one of the worst environments for the man's mental health and physical well-being, and it's almost like they're going to induce another stroke on the guy. But of course, they don't care. He's number 51. I don't know. On the whole John Fetterman thing, I feel kind of like a broken record. But somebody's got to say it. Clearly, the Democrats never will. Clearly, the mainstream media never will. They're all parroting the same Democrat talking point of stunning and brave, but it's yet again another deeply, deeply unethical trait of the aggressively partisan left. They are literally killing the guy. That's what I got for you guys, though. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, we would love to have you here at the Liberal Hive Mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.